Hi everyone, it's Michelle and Froggy. So if you ever felt like you lost your ribbit or your ribbit doesn't have as much spunk, well, I was feeling that way not too long ago, and I want to share that experience with you because it reminds me of my frog here. And this is the coolest frog, by the way. He's got little magnets on his feet, and the kids used to love to play with this and watch this. It's so cool. He'll land wherever you plop him. Well, that's what I felt like a few years ago when I was having a rough time, and I was out walking on the beach by myself and just looking at the couples there and feeling literally like I didn't have any obligations. I didn't have a specific place to be. I didn't have a specific job to go to. I was just there. I'd just been plopped there. That's how I felt. And in some ways, that experience was lonely, but in some ways, it was also very fresh. It was very needed. I felt like that everything, like the world was my oyster. So I think a lot of us are feeling more in tune with ourselves now, and being at home and being on this hiatus from the lockdown. But you can do that purposely too. We don't need a mandate from the government to push pause in our lives and to imagine just for a few minutes, or take your time and imagine what would it feel like if you had no specific obligation or responsibility, if you had no past, no baggage, no could-haves or should-haves in your life, that you were just here and you had infinite possibilities. What would that feel like? You don't have to go to the beach to have that feeling, and you don't have to let go of the people in your lives that you love to have that feeling for a little while. It can be very liberating. A lot of times we get confined by what people expect of us, so I encourage you to take off the different hats that we wear every day. Take off the mother hat or the teacher hat or the employee hat or employer hat, and just go without your hat for a while. What would that feel like? What would you explore on that beach if you didn't have a specific destination in mind? What would that open up to you? Maybe you would just spend some time there on the beach before you went exploring, but what would you explore eventually? If you take off the confines of your life and what people expect you to say, what people expect you to look like, what people expect you to do on any given day, if you take that out of the mix and you just explore the possibilities that are within you by just feeling like you've been plopped here and that you have none of those things around, it can be so freeing, and it can give you a fresh start again. It can give you a fresh outlook on things, and it can also make you feel like, we got to think about a Froggy before we end this here, but it can make you feel like that your rivet's back. It can give you that hop in your step that you need sometimes to just let go of it all and imagine that it's just you and your interests for a while. And I hope that some of the things that I've been sharing with you have helped you. Some of my experiences that are maybe a little crazy sometimes. I have a zebra, by the way, that I may bring into this at some point. I hope that some of the things I'm sharing with you help you, and maybe you even get a kick out of. But I do find them very helpful to me, and I live this way, and I hope that it does help you in this confining time to just take those restrictions off, at least mentally anyway. Bye. Bye, Froggy. Here we go. One last. Anywhere you plop them.